Hello and welcome to the summary of Act 1 of Fela. Please note this is a plot summary of the play text, not the book. The usual disclaimers apply. Please don't use this as your only study material. Scene 1 opens on the Neisner forest, where we are introduced to a man named Elias van Rooyen. Elias is not the greatest person. He's incredibly lazy. He has 4 children. The only value he sees in them is that they'll be free labor for him one day. But at the moment they're all still too young. He spends most of his time coming up with get-rich-quick schemes. His dream is to shoot an elephant and sell the tusks. But to do this, he needs a gun, which he can't afford. While he's busy contemplating these things, he gets interrupted by his wife, Barta. She can't find their one son, Lucas. Elias says that he doesn't know where he is and carries on contemplating life. A few moments later, his eldest son, Willem, comes in and says that Barta still can't find Lucas. Elias adamantly insists that he hasn't gone missing and that they must keep searching. So they do. Eventually, the whole community's been gathered to search for Lucas. They still can't find him. Stories start to circulate about other children who had gone missing, and in the mist to never be found again. The men search for the surrounding village for 8 days before declaring that Lucas cannot be found and is probably dead. 7 months later, floods wash up a little corpse. It seemed to be that of a little boy, but could also have been that of a baboon. Cut forward 9 years to the Lange Kloof. Here we meet Fela and her husband Celine. Fela is very much large and in charge, running the whole farm. She's also a good mother to her children. Just recently they had invested in a female ostrich to breed with their male ostrich. Currently, Fela is watching her children herd the female ostriches into its corral. She's particularly upset that the one child, Benjamin, is running in front of the ostrich, despite her telling him not to. Benjamin isn't Fela's biological son. He was adopted on her doorstep 9 years ago when she found him. She's raised him since. Relevant to the story, Benjamin is white while the rest of the Kamutis are coloured. Celine notices a horse carriage coming along the road. Fela just assumes that they are coming to barter and tells Celine what he can and can't trade, seeing as they already have a deal with the neighbouring farm. She then goes back to barking orders at the children. Once the ostrich is in the pen, the children run off. The men in the carriage turn out not to be there to barter, but are conducting a census. Fela cooperates and answers all their questions. After a while of answering questions, Benjamin comes up running to Fela, and all hell breaks loose. The census men want to know how a coloured woman ended up with a white child. Fela tells them how she adopted him, but they won't accept it. It is then that the one man remembers the story from the forest 9 years ago, around the same time Fela found Benjamin. They want to take Benjamin with them immediately, but Fela won't allow it. They end up deciding that they'll go and further investigate when they get back to Neisner and come fetch him later. Several months go by and the men never return. Eventually everything goes back to normal for the Kamutis. Back in the bush, Elias is in a sorry state. He started trying to hunt elephants without a gun and almost ended up getting trampled. He had to drop a bunch of things during his retreat, including a blanket. The Van Rooyens are running short on blankets, but Elias is selfishly insisting on carrying on with his hunting. At that moment, the bush guard comes along with a message from the magistrate in Neisner. The message contains the news of the boy who was found in the Lange Kloof. They're going to summon him to Neisner tomorrow. It's a big day at the Kamutis' farm. Today is the day that the female and male ostrich will be placed in the same pen, and preparation must be done for it. Their plans are interrupted when Lange and Dikke rock up to their house to fetch Benjamin to appear before the magistrate. Of course, Fela is having none of this and refuses to part with her child. But the magistrate wants to see him on Friday, and Fela won't be able to make it there on time by foot. The men insist that Benjamin has to come with them on carriage. They'll come back tomorrow, and if Benjamin isn't ready, then there will be trouble. At that, they leave. Fela wastes no time barking orders at everyone to get Benjamin as ready as possible. She pours a bath for him, and to Benjamin's protests, gets him as clean as possible. She sends David to the town to buy Benjamin a nice shirt and a nice pair of shoes while she washes him. Fela preps Benjamin for his meeting with the magistrate. They decide that he should call the magistrate Wel edele Heer, Your Honour. Fela gives Benjamin some money as proof that they aren't poor. Slowly the lights fade to black, and that concludes Act 1. And And yes, there we go, that's the end of the summary of Act 1. Some other small important things that might be nice to note are the ages of the Van Rooyen and Community children. They like to ask those, and they will have probably, that you can find it in the front of your reading book, that different ages. I tried something different over here with the drawings instead of just sitting in front of a camera, because I don't particularly like sitting in front of the camera, so I hope this is nice. I actually think this might be more helpful because you can associate the different faces with the different characters. But on that note, I'm going to conclude this and say good luck with the further studying, and the rest of the videos are either already out or they will be out soon. Bye.